Well, welcome to Boxing Day. It is the day after Christmas and the day of the full moon. I am Carla Sanders, the Cosmic Crone, and I've come to be with you a few minutes to share something very significant that I noticed about this full moon. So we'll have a brief reading, and then I want to share with you a simple ritual that will help you work with the energy of the full moon. This full moon window today, tomorrow, and really through the rest of the week, all the way through New Year's, all the way until the next new moon, you can find time to work with this ritual. It's incredibly beautiful ritual of self-compassion. So I'm going to share the reading, the ritual, and then I'm going to briefly tell you about something that I'm doing for you. I want to make Dark Goddess Astrology accessible for your New Year planning and integration. So I will tell you a little bit about that. So now, let us, excuse me, frog and throat. How were your holidays? Starting with wherever you are, whatever you celebrate. My holidays were full of entirely too much sugar, so that's why I'm clearing my throat a bit. My throat does not like sugar, even though my taste buds adore it. So as you come on, feel free to say hello. I don't know if Facebook still has the likes and hearts opportunity, but it's good to know that you're hearing and receiving what I have to say, even though I can't see comments until we're all over. So today, the full moon in Cancer is happening at 4 degrees 58 minutes of Cancer. The sun will be at 4 degrees 58 minutes of Capricorn. The moon is at home in Cancer. So a full moon in Cancer, especially this early, where the entire full moon window is going to be moving through its home sign. The moon is the ruler of Cancer. And Cancer is the sign that rules the middle section of the body, the heart, the breast, the chest, and some astrologers also include the womb. And I think that is apt because Cancer refers to home, nesting, nurturing, where we are fed, where we are safe, where we go to regroup and recharge. And so Cancer tells us a lot about our home. Cancer people, Cancer sun people, very often have full pantries and extra food stored away. My partner is a Cancer, and if I send him, he goes to the grocery store and always buys the biggest. So if I want a small amount of something, I tell him, it fits in this size, because otherwise he will bring me enough for 2 years and it probably won't keep. Anyway, Cancers are good people to have around. They are all about making sure you are fed, cared for, nurtured, protected, safe. And they also like that in return. They like to surround themselves with safety and plenty and abundance. And they have a belief in abundance as a rule. So when the moon is in Cancer, all of your feelings and emotions around home come to the surface. And your intuition as one of the building blocks of your home and inner safety, because honestly, all of us carry our home inside of us. We may build our nest in the world, but our capacity to feel safe and to feel love, it begins on the inside. And that is so much what this particular full moon is about. And that is because the full moon is opposite the sun, conjunct Ixion. There are many things I could talk about regarding this full moon, but chances are there are other astrologers you listen to who are covering some of those points. So I'm going to talk about this because I see it and I feel it. Before I get to that, though, there's another thing that Dark Goddess wants to talk about, and that is the opposition between Venus, the Queen of Heaven, and the Lilith star Algol. They are in almost an exact opposition, the 27th degree. Venus is in Scorpio, and Algol always lives in the 26th, 27th degree of Taurus. It's a star, so it moves very slowly through the zodiac, like a degree a generation or a degree in a lifetime. So what does that mean that Venus is opposite Algol? Well, you have this polarization of the feminine in her glory, in her shining power, and a little bit of Venus very often is made in the image of man, man's ideal, patriarchy's ideal of the feminine and the goddess. So part of our work as women or as humans on the planet right now is to reclaim all the dimensions of Venus. Venus is more than the goddess of eroticism and beauty and things that appeal in sensuality and sexuality. She is our inner abundance, our inner self-valuing. And she represents the foundation of love from which all life is created. Before she was the goddess of love, Eros, romance, she was the goddess of how will the world survive? Let us protect the essence of love from which all life springs. That's a very old myth about Venus, the beginning of Venus as we know her. Also the beginning of the sign Pisces, very much tied into that story. So here she is across the sky from Lilith star, the demonized goddess. We are celebrating in this week one of the principal holidays of Christendom, which has been a religion completely co-opted and shaped by patriarchy that has demonized the goddess, demonized the feminine, attempted to erase the feminine as a force of power and wisdom on the planet. It's the way it is. And so Algol, looking across the sky at her sister, daughter, avatar, Venus, we are in between and we are receiving both of those energies. And part of our work at this full moon and this moment of opposition of these two, the morning star and the Lilith star, is to integrate these two parts of ourselves. And the work that we do with this full moon, with working with the sun in Ixion, as I'm about to describe, is going to support us in that. It's going to activate this divine feminine truth. And this is true for all humans, regardless of your body. Your identification is male or female, whether you have ovaries and a womb and breast or a prostate and testicles and a penis, you have this energy of right relationship with your inner feminine that taps, and you also have this struggle that is represented by Ixion. And that struggle very much interferes with your right relationship, with your inner feminine and your inner sacred masculine. So here's how this shows up, especially this time of year. This is the time of year where we start making lists. We look back, our journals are filled with the list of things that we accomplished and that we're grateful for the years past. We are, excuse me, we are putting 2023 to bed, so to speak. We are burying the old year. And so we acknowledge, what did we accomplish? We acknowledge, what do we want next? And we prepare for our list of goals and desires and intentions. And some may still be calling them New Year's resolutions. What are we wanting to create and change in 2024? And if you're anything like me, and most of the other people I know, there is a shadow side to this process. This is not unadulterated celebration, because very often we look at our 2023 goals and desires and we see where we've fallen short. We see what we did not accomplish. We see how things went sideways. We can look and say, I made a wrong decision there. I wanted this and instead I got this. Or I didn't see this hard thing coming, this illness, this death, this natural disaster, this financial setback. I didn't see the wars. I prayed for peace, and what we got was more war. I don't see things changing politically. Things seem to be getting worse. So, we can look at the bigger picture and say, what am I celebrating about this? We can look at our personal life and we can descend into a spiral of self-judgment. And this is Ixion. Ixion and the sun all day long. The sun, starting last night, actually around sunset, the sun began to pass over Ixion. Ixion is a centaur planet. He moves very, very slowly. So he's practically standing still compared to the way the sun moves. But the sun, our collective consciousness, when we are looking at these general charts like full moon, it's saying to all of us, it's lighting up our shadow realms, our places that we hide. When I look at Ixion in a personal chart, a natal chart, I'm helping the person see what part of themselves do they believe is so awful they do not want to look at it, nor do they want anyone else to see it. And this can twist us in so many ways, because very often when we are shining, when we are sharing our gifts and showing up visibly in the world with whatever we're putting out, Ixion sometimes catches that and says, oh, but if you show them that, then they'll also see this. They'll see what a fake you are. They'll see your ugliness. If they see any part of you, they might see all parts of you. And a lot of this, 99.9% of it, is deeply unconscious. We don't know that it's at work. But times like this year, this time of year, when we are taking stock, when we are activating our desires for what's to come, we can see those shadowy, glimmery tracks that Ixion has left. It's like when you're looking with averted vision, if you're a stargazer, you look with averted vision and you can see dimmer stars, that if you look directly at them, they disappear. Ixion is like that. If you look over here at a result, then you can see Ixion at work. So this moon activating Ixion and your year-end ritual of taking stock and setting goals, however that looks for you, is you have this beautiful window to metabolize some of that, to create a space. And that is the ritual I want to share with you. And I think one way to do it, this is a suggested ritual. I did some work with it this morning, but there's some more work I want to do because I did not have my journal with me. So I'm going to talk you through it about what it looks like. And so you can tap into that sacred energy right now as you're listening to this, whether live or on the recording. So however you open sacred space for ritual, I will demonstrate something very simple, which is, I'm just setting my new studio on fire. I'm lighting a candle, the match broke and fell on the floor lit. Wonder what that means. So opening ritual space, very simple, light a candle. Breathe into your center. I teach women to breathe into their womb space and to do so very gently, receiving the breath, opening, relaxing, and allowing the breath to come in. And to allow a few breaths like that to gently wake up your core, your womb, your heart, your mind. Get everything aligned. And then to call in the support from your ancestors. And we all have different kinds of relationships with the ancestors. One of my teachers teaches that angels are examples of ancestors. I work with planets as examples of ancestral voices. But you can just listen and invite in anyone who wants to come and support you. You might call in directions or elements according to your practice. And then come centered. And if you've made a list of things you're grateful for, accomplishments you're celebrating, and perhaps you find that there is a corresponding list of ways you failed, ways you screwed up, things that didn't go as planned. And just sit with those two lists. And you might think of them in your mind, or you might have them written down. And recognize that if there is a goal in your life you did not reach, and perhaps you've been wanting this for a very long time, I'm going to put the candle down lest I drop it. It may be hooked in to one of these deep places, these Ixion places, where you feel deeply unworthy, where you feel evil, bad, wrong. Something that you probably learned before you were fully conscious, where through some experience or something that was said about you that you took in as truth, and it has been growing there. And it may not even have been yours directly. It might be something ancestral that got passed along. Could be something past life that you keep bringing forward to work with. You do not have to know what it is, but you have clues based on what keeps not working in your life. What keeps shutting you down, however subtly? What keeps seeming to hold you back? And so as you begin to become aware of what some of that might be, simply sit with the feeling, because the feeling you will be able to access. It will feel a little like shame, like grief. It might have some words like, I'll never have what I want. I can't do it. I'm wrong. I'm bad. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. And chances are you've worked with these ideas before, because they're always with us. We're always faced with that, especially when we're wanting to shine like Venus as the morning star. So the way that you work with Ixion material is this mantra. There is no part of me that is unworthy of love. Every part of me is worthy of love. I love and accept all parts of myself. Those are the basic words that touch those deeply hurting spaces that Ixion has a hold on inside of you. And you do not have to believe it with your mind. You are not convincing yourself of anything. You say these words out loud as often as you need to, maybe until you feel the release of tears coming up, until there's a part of you that softens and says, you're right. All parts of me are worthy of love. There is no part of me that is unlovable. I love and accept all parts of myself. And what this does is it creates a space between that part of you that you don't want anyone to know about, and that part of you that knows you are worthy of love, that is capable of self-compassion, who can just breathe and know that you did not have to earn your space on the planet. You do not have to earn your right to breathe, to exist. There is a space. And so imagine that that space is fertile soil in a pot or in a garden, and that space is a little hole that is dug with your finger or a little stick, and you drop a seed inside. That is the seed of your desire. The seed of your goals for the next year, your intentions, your desire. It all comes down to desire. And you can pat that seed gently with just a small layer of soil and a little water of self-compassion. And in that space, all possibilities can grow. Some people like to do rituals with planting seeds, with real soil and real seeds. And if that pleases you, you may do that. Or you may simply speak the words and feel that seed, that space, opening up inside of you where your desires can be planted and grow. And then you can close the ritual with these words. There is a practice, the Hawaiian reconciliation practice that you may have heard of, the Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I like to say that 4 times, basically 4 times, 1 in each direction. You can choose your magic. 3 times for magic, below, middle, above. 4 times for all the directions. 5 times for all the directions in the center. Or once again, you can just keep chanting it until it lands in your bones and it's flowing in your blood. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I have a friend who's written a song. Her name is Kalajoy Ma'at, and The Unburdened Heart is her Facebook page and her website. And I'm going to ask her to see if she'd post how you can find that song, because you could close and sing along with her and allow that beautiful music of that chant to land more fully in your body. So this full moon, it is an incredibly special time to soften the places where you are hurting and feeling unworthy, and open up the space for your joy, your gifts, your abundance, your power, your self-love, your self-compassion to be planted and to grow. Why does that matter so much? Well, because you matter. You matter. Your importance on this planet is without measure. And what you do for yourself allows you to give out to others. In your circles, your loved ones, your community, your town, the planet, the cosmos. So that is the particular gift that Dark Goddess Astrology has for you in this full moon window. And I have a gift for you. It is, I'm just going to briefly describe it, and then there will be other posts. If it interests you, you can reach out to me if you feel the call. When I work with clients in Dark Goddess Astrology, we look at where Ixion is in your chart. We also look at your north and south nodes. We look at the 3 Liliths. We look at the other goddess planets that are active in your chart. And at this particular time, we're paying special attention to the solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024. And so every person I have read for has that eclipse landing in a very special place in their chart that is relevant to what they're desiring now, what they're working with energetically right now. So I have been able to support them in how to best prepare for that energy. If they need to do some cleansing and healing, if they need to get things lined up, because that door is an opening of opportunity. So I want that for you too. So I'm offering a special on Dark Goddess Astrology And it will be open for a period of time. I'm not sure when the doors are closing, but I do know I have a limited number of spaces to work with in January, simply because of what's going on in my schedule. I'm willing to do up to 10. Might have to go into the week of February first week of February to get them all in. But I'm offering Dark Goddess Astrology at a savings of 30% off the regular price. So it is a special opportunity to encourage you, if you feel called to working with the Dark Goddess, if you want some deep, womb deep, bone deep insights, messages from the ancestors in the voice of the planets in your chart. If you're curious about this Ixion and Nessus business, where some of your deepest wounds may be expressing, and you're kind of tired and worn out of those things running your life, then Dark Goddess Astrology will help you move through that and extract the gift. Extract the power. A lot of times our power is spent repressing that which we are afraid of, that we think is ugly and awful. And we were taught to do this, and we've become expert at it. And a part of beginning to shine and receive what we want is creating a practice around blossoming, around letting that lotus rise from the mud, around letting that seed to germinate in the dark and grow. Dark Goddess Astrology can help you with this work, and now is the time, now more than ever. Prepare for the eclipse portal to open, and prepare for what is being asked of you, what is wanting to come through you and to you during this year of 2024. So please, please, please send me a message. I can probably make a link to the website. Haven't updated the website yet due to the holiday. But I'll put some links in, and I will be talking about this over the next few days. So I encourage you to claim your space. And I also encourage you to take some time in this full moon window, or between now and January 1st, or now in the new moon, in the first week of January, to do this work with self-compassion, this self-compassion, self-love ritual, healing and opening those places that you've closed up inside of you. So that completes this Dark Goddess full moon reading. It is happening this evening where I live. I do my charts for Searsport, Maine, here on the coast of Maine, Eastern Time Zone, USA. So that's happening at 7:33 this evening. I wish you clear skies so that you may go out and look at the full moon and let her light wash over you as you work with this ritual. Many blessings to you. Happy New Year. Blessed full moon.